How many dozens of obscure Latin and Greek tomes did you read as the marshes ebbed to and fro? The insects buzzed around the marble mausoleums, and the moths ate at your father's tweed jackets.
The Major was an aristocrat. Elizondo thought he might be the son of a Methuselan connoisseur who lived in a villa threatened by floods. Within the villa were paintings and books in Latin and Greek that the Major had read and absorbed, distancing himself from most of human society even before he had entered it. And now, here he was, rich, urbane, and tremendous, doing paperwork in a bunker at 2,000 meters.
What?
You shot skeet with an English shotgun, didn't you? You learned to drink aquavit and read Apuleius. Your father worried all the time that the foundations of the villa were rotting, but didn't have the strength to rake up the fallen leaves, which he believed might be poisonous if their essence found admission to the water supply.
My father?
White boffy and bulging eyes. He wore dressing gowns and wrote with a pen made of ebony and gold. Don't you remember? On the marsh?
My father was an engineer. We lived in an apartment on the Via Cola di Rienzo. What is this about moths eating his hunting jackets? He had no tweed hunting jackets.
How am I supposed to know about your father's wardrobe? Who was I, his tailor?
You said he had tweed hunting jackets.
I made the best guess available, giving the information I had.
What information?
Your face.
Who are you? You didn't even salute. You're sitting in my chair. Do you realize men have been shot for lesser insubordination?
No, I didn't realize. But in Stella Maris, I watched them die like flies. They try to shoot me too, but they miss, or I'm pulled out of line. It doesn't matter. I have discovered only of late, I have understood only after becoming embittered, that I have immunity. Not so much an aura, but comical immunity.
Comical immunity?
Yes, it's a joke. I have laissez-passer, and I watch as everyone else is blown to bits. It's that bastard, the little dwarf, Orfeo. He did it! I should have killed him. The world would have been preserved, and everyone I love would have been alive today. I would have gone from party to party in Rome, slept like Fabio with 1,400 foreign women, and rode on the Tiber. I would have read books and gotten old and enjoyed eating and drinking. In the fall, I would have walked on the Via Cola di Rienzo, in your father's tweed hunting jackets with the moth holes. The bottom of his closet, even though it was a cedar closet, was littered with moth droppings.
Are you making fun of my father?
How could I? I loved your father. He was very much like my own. I only make fun of myself.
Why?
Because when I love someone, they disappear.
Even the fresh troops they send me now have battle fatigue.
Oh, I don't have battle fatigue. I was bred and trained for battle. I've been on the line for more than 2 years. I'm not tired. I'm not afraid. I'm not irrational. I merely resent all this dying.
That's too bad. What are you going to do about it? You can't bring back the dead.
I know, I've tried.
Pardon me? You've tried?
I suppose you think this is irrational. It is irrational. You can do little with reason, except in the material world. Why should I limit myself to reason?
Because no one will understand you if you don't.
To the contrary. Anyway, reason is just as irrational, and those who are irrational just as unreasonable as anyone else.
What?
You're a modern type. You are. You accept the theory of evolution, don't you?
Yeah.
Of course. It's an underpinning of your thought. And the idea of entropy, are you familiar with it?
Yes, I am.
Do you accept it as well?
I don't know.
Most people do. They think what's true for acute physical processes is probably applicable to cosmology itself.
What of it?
Only this. You believe in entropy, which postulates that all phenomena tend to sink to lower levels of organization and energy, and in evolution, which postulates that the theory of life has been just the opposite. People like you credit both theories. Is that reason rational? I say fuck off. All my life I have been devoted to bringing people back from the dead, only to discover that it's hopeless. My conceits will never serve to wake the dead. Art has no limit but that. You may come enchantingly close, and you may wither under the power of its lash, but you cannot bring back the dead. It's as if God set loose the powers of art so that man could come so close to his precincts as almost to understand how he works, but in the end, he closes the door in your face and says, "Leave it to me." To see the beauty of the world is to put your hands on lines that run uninterrupted through life and through death. Touching them is an act of hope, for perhaps someone on the other side, if there is another side, is touching them too.
You're not an officer. But as long as you're under my command, you may carry your sidearm. It's a Colt.
Why?
Because where I'm going to send you, I hope that there you'll think less about art and more about war, so that you may outlast the war and spend the rest of your life thinking about art. I'm going to send you to a place where you'll be the northmost Italian soldier in the line, the highest and most isolated.
Why?
Because that's what you want. You came here to ask me for it.
On 2 occasions in the first 10 days, he warned Italian outposts of impending air attacks. He had seen them with his telescope. The Austrians could neither mass for an attack nor enjoy the open air as long as Alessandro was able to see them from his chamber.
Let me stealth about it, guys.
Alessandro's hand stopped trembling. He placed it around the pistol. It was uncannily steady, steadier than it had ever been in pistol practice.